Hello, Taylor Ellwood here, and I'm here to talk today about what you hold on to and how holding on to that can define you. I've lately been reading this book called The Daily Stoic, and I really highly recommend it. You can kind of make it out there. And in today's entry for the Daily Stoic, they talk about the color of your thoughts. And Marcus Aurelius shares the following. He says, "Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought, for the human spirit is colored by such impressions." And what they go on to say in their commentary is that, what you hold on to, the outlook that you hold on to, if it's perpetually negative or whatever else, it's going to shape your experiences, your thoughts and emotions, the quality of your life. And if it's positive, likewise. Now, without going all law of attraction on you guys here, which I'm really not going to do, I think there is a significant truth to this. And how I know this really is from personal experience because I'll just say it, this is like the first day in a long time that I have woken up feeling happy. That's right. I have not felt happy in a while. It's been at least a year, maybe longer. I mean, there were moments I felt happy over the last year, but not so much. And some of it was the pandemic. Some of it was because of mistakes that I made. Um, I've been in this downward spiral where I was holding on obsessively to thoughts about, what I could have done differently in regards to a situation that occurred in my life, and how I could have handled it differently and what I would have said or done. And it shaped me in a lot of ways because it kept me rooted in the past, and it became this blockage. And of course I was doing, Taoist dissolving work and meditation, dissolving, dissolving, dissolving. But no matter how much I dissolved, I held on to it. And I think part of it was because I just wasn't ready to let go. The thing is that often I find that we hold on to certain feelings or emotions or thoughts or whatever else. We hold on to them because we feel like we need to have control over our lives in a situation where we don't have control. And the one thing we have control over is our thoughts and emotions. But sometimes we hold on to them to the detriment of ourselves. We hold on to them because that is the thing that we feel like we have control over. And what we don't realize is that it becomes this blockage that weighs us down. I was reading a superhero fiction fantasy book the other day, and the character at one point observed that what you hold on to in your past weighs you down, but that you can also choose to either let your past weigh you down, or you can use it to blow you forward, to move the sails to go forward. And I thought, okay, that's a good point. So for me, today I wake up happy, and for a little bit, and that's in and of itself a good thing. That's progress. And then did my qigong, and I started to feel the blockages come up. And then I ended up doing some dissolving work. And what I did is I disconnected. I noticed that I had a blockage here in my head and in my heart, and I disconnected the blockage between my head and the heart. That was one thing I did that I hadn't done up until now. And I started really working on both blockages at the same time, just dissolving and releasing and relaxing. And I realized it's like, why am I holding on to this, so much? Well, why I'm holding on is because I needed this sense of control over a situation that was, in a very real sense, was very uncontrollable for me. And I finally let go of that need to have control. I think, I hope so. If I haven't, at least I know. At least I know what to do and work toward. Because I was like, okay, I'm holding on to this, and the more I hold on to it, the more it's going to define me. And I don't like how it's defining me. It's not creating a happy life for me. I'm not enjoying the quality of my life. I'm forcing myself to do things, but I'm depressed and everything else. Well, now today I feel happy. And I feel like I've released and relaxed this blockage. And I've done it because I don't need to control it. And I still have work to do around it, no doubt. But I think I can finally start to put it behind me because, keeping in mind what was said in the Daily Stoic, I don't want the shape of myself to be defined by this event in the past. And I would say the same to any of you who are watching this. Like when you have your own experiences around this thing, it's important to know when to release and relax and let go of things. Sometimes we hold on to things because it's the only way we can make sense of what happened. And I get that there's a very valid reason for wanting to make sense of what happened, because until we make sense of it, we can't find peace with it. But at a certain point, trying to make sense of what happened just becomes its own obsession, and it can define you and control you to the point that you really can't make sense of it. And that's what I realized today. It's like, well, I'm not going to hold on to this anymore. I'm not going to try and make any further sense of it. I've made as much sense of it as I can. I've held on to it and I've let it define and shape me, and I don't want to be defined and shaped by it anymore. I want to move the ship forward. I want to have the wind go into the sails. I want to move on with my life, and I'm ready to. And that is a wonderful feeling. I got to say, it's something I've missed feeling for a while. So my advice to you really is the same thing, is like, look at what is holding you back in your life. What are you letting your what thoughts or emotions are you letting shape your life? And if they aren't to your liking, if they aren't what you really want, maybe it's time to let go. Maybe it's time to stop holding on to them so tightly, because you holding on to them isn't giving you the power that you want. If anything, it's putting you further in the power of whatever happened. But letting go and releasing and moving forward can be one of the most empowering and liberating experiences that you can have in your life. And don't get me wrong, I acknowledge that this is not something that easily happens. I mean, this is something where, it's easy. You would rightfully say to me, well, it's easy for you to say that, Taylor, but to do it, you're right. It is. I mean, I'm living proof of that. Like I said, today's the first time I felt happy in over half a year. More than that, really. So there you go. So don't let your experiences define you. It's easy to say, but what it really comes right down to is you have to recognize what you're holding on to and how it's defining you. And then let it go. Move on. And when you can do that, that's when the dissolving really begins to work. Anyway, that's my video for today, and thanks for watching. Take care.